I am going to do my best to keep the shows up, like I promised Simon. So I do have some updates and so on for you. But first, your reminder, keep stacking, keep stacking, keep stacking. Definitely towards the end of the year, it is a great time for you guys to really start maybe picking up some ounces of silver. Again, they make great gifts um, to bring to maybe Thanksgiving celebrations, as Christmas gifts for those of you guys who participate in Thanksgiving and Christmas. You definitely want to start, stacking some ounces. We cannot, I say we, you could just get used to it, you guys, right? I've been doing it for 25 years. It's going to be a long time before I can get to the I. But we always suggest definitely having some silver ounces. For those of you who are new to purchasing silver, I do want to suggest constitutional silver. You can never go wrong with constitutional silver. Constitutional silver gives you the ability, it gives you more divisibility in your silver portfolio. Okay, so ounces are great, but constitutional silver comprises of quarters and dimes and nickels that were minted before 1965. So anything 64 and before were actually made with silver. They are worth more than what the denomination is. Whereas now you guys are probably experiencing a coin shortage because the alloyed metals that are used to make change. Hi, dear Bit. Thank you for joining. The alloy metals that are used to make change now is beginning to be more expensive than the 5 cents, 10 cents, 25 cents that it is representing. So keep those things in mind, especially those of you who are a little bit more cash heavy than you are utilizing your card in the coin shortage that's going on there in the United States. Just be aware of that. 2, Bitcoin. We are waiting patiently. We are patiently awaiting $100,000 Bitcoin. We are waiting, we're waiting, we're waiting. But we also understand that as we wait, it will have some pullback. Now, y'all know that Hubby Cakes was the technical guy. That's not really my wheelhouse, although I am going to tighten up. In the meanwhile, I am going to have the professionals who do this kind of give you guys the updates, right? We're going to be working smarter, not harder. So I do have a technical analyst who will give you guys some information here shortly about 100,000 Bitcoin. Right now, Bitcoin, I believe, is 93,000, maybe 185. Somebody can spot check me on that. But that means it's on sale right now. So definitely keep dollar cost averaging, especially when it dips. Now, one of the questions, believe it or not, that people have been asking me is, once it gets to 100,000, is that too high for me to continue buying into Bitcoin? And the answer is no. Fiat has absolutely no bottom, right? I believe we're in a $36 trillion deficit. Yes, that number sounds correct. Bitcoin has no top. So you want to keep dollar cost averaging, dollar cost averaging, dollar cost averaging your way into Bitcoin as it continues to surge and surge and surge ahead. Towards the end of the broadcast, when people are on, I am going to give you guys a reminder of Simon's Celebration of Life services that I'm going to have on Saturday at 1 p.m. Central Time, 2 p.m. Eastern.
I want to say hi too.
Okay, come on, say hi. Baby wants to say hello to everybody. Come on. You want to say hi to the people?
Hi.
Say hi.
Hi.
Well, this will be my co-host for a minute because he's going to get distracted and find something else to do. But Saturday, okay. He's got Rapunzel. Saturday, at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will be live streaming Simon's celebration of life services. I'm still working on some of the logistics because what I think he would have wanted was for people to be able, he always wanted people to hop on the show and chat and talk and give their, ideas, opinions, ask questions. So what I really want to do is be able to have people hop on and be able to, if you have a funny story, because that's really what he wanted, right? He didn't want a sad celebration. He wanted people to tell funny stories about that they had with them and stuff like that. Wait a minute, baby. Let me just tell them. And I'm also concerned that I'm not going to be able to play any music. So that would kind of be, that's what I'm trying to work out, where it's going to be live, but I don't want any copyright strikes, and I certainly don't want them to take it down. At 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, for those who live in the Cincinnati area, one of his very good friends, John Carroll Jr., is going to be hosting a balloon release for him. I was thinking that the boys and I, baby, don't do that. I was thinking that the boys and I will probably do something similar, maybe here. But again, I'm thinking about it. I'm hoping that I am inspired with some ideas on some of the best ways to go about the ideas that I have for him. So at the end of the broadcast, I will have a reminder. That's when most of the people are on. I will have a reminder. I will continue to remind everybody Saturday, 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I will have the live stream link available once I kind of get the logistics figured out so that you guys can absolutely participate. Hop on if you just wanted to tell a story or get something off your chest, something on your mind. We as the family would really appreciate that. Okay, this is really what he would want me to do. He would want me to get down to business. So, that's funny. I don't know what happened to they keep changing the screen, and it's just like so annoying. All right, here we go. And all of these pop-ups, I'm sorry, you guys. So this was an interesting article that I had found that, crying out loud, I thought you guys would be interested in, but more importantly, I knew that Hubby Cakes would be very interested in this type of comparison. So for this particular article, we have visualizing the price of Bitcoin versus gold over time. And this is on the visual capitalist. It's the Bitcoin to gold ratio. How many bars of gold does one Bitcoin buy? And then we have a great infographic here. I'm sorry. Like this thing keeps coming down and it's driving me crazy.
How many bars of gold does one Bitcoin buy? Gold of what, 2,000?
Well, in 2024, 35.2, it looks like 35.2 bars of gold, but how many ounces is that? Both gold and Bitcoin are seen as hedges against inflation, but Bitcoin is far more volatile. Let's get into the story. Reggie's here, by the way, you guys, if you're hearing a voice in the background. So Bitcoin has soared to all-time highs of over 90,000, pushing the Bitcoin to gold ratio close to record levels. Since Trump's election victory, Bitcoin has surged amid market speculation and economic uncertainty under a pro-Bitcoin administration. At the same time, gold has also rallied, driven by physical purchases across both central banks and retail investors. The graphic shows the Bitcoin to gold ratio, which is the number of troy ounces of gold that one Bitcoin can buy, calculated using gold and Bitcoin price data from TradingView. Sorry, guys. So it looks like, based on the infographic, that 35.2 troy ounces of gold can get you one más o menos $90,000 Bitcoin equivalent. So here it is. Today's ratio of 35.2 between the cryptocurrency and the precious metal is still below its high of 37 reached in 2021. Below, we show the price of Bitcoin and gold based on data as of November 11th, 2024. So at the beginning of November, you could buy 24.8 ounces of gold. As of November 11th, right? So like just 11 days later, you can get 35.2 ounces. As you can see, in March of 2024, we had something close, which was 30.3 ounces. While Bitcoin already made new highs earlier in 2024, in November, the price surged by more than 30% following Trump's presidential election victory. So we're talking in like a 10-day span, we saw over 30% increase. Whereas a lot of investments take over 12, between 10 and 12 months to get anywhere near 30%. So that's incredible. Alongside the positive political shift, spot Bitcoin ETFs have attracted billions of funds from institutional retail investors since launching earlier this year. As of November 19th, BlackRock spot Bitcoin ETF is seeing more than $30 billion in net flows. With NASDAQ preparing to list options on BlackRock Bitcoin ETF, over 11 approved Bitcoin ETFs manage just over $80 billion in assets to date. As Bitcoin has surged, so has gold, but obviously to a lesser extent. While the safe haven asset hit an all-time high of $2,790 per ounce on October 30th, it has since dropped about 6%, partially due to the US dollar strength. However, a Trump presidency could bolster gold prices as a wave of new tariffs have the potential to disrupt global trade, leading investors to increasingly look to gold amid higher uncertainty. So as you can see, President Trump's presidency has the ability to disrupt the gold market. Here we go. I want to stop sharing the screen. It looks like, okay, let's move on to the next one. For those of you who are asking the question, should we continue to dollar cost average in the Bitcoin once it hits 100,000? Isn't that top, am I not investing at the top? Is that way too high? Does it make sense to continue on my Bitcoin journey? Yes, it makes sense. And you also have to remember, Simon and I have always talked about low time preference. What does that mean? That means this is not a get rich quick scheme, because the minute you try to get rich quick, you're going to get a pullback and you're going to feel it. So you really want to have a low time preference approach to this. But here is the answer to your question. It says Bitcoin may basically have the potential to reach 180,000 by the end of 2025. The current crypto quant Bitcoin exchange reserve metric is roughly 2 million coins, the lowest level recorded in this market cycle. The price of Bitcoin may reach 180,000 by the end of 2025, according to Georgy Verbitsky, the founder of TYMIO Decentralized Finance Platform. In a statement to Cointelegraph, Verbitsky forecasted a Bitcoin price between 100,000 and 120,000 by the end of 2024, or by early 2025, before President-elect Trump assumes office on January 20th, 2025. The founder continued that Bitcoin may reach 180,000 towards the end of 2025 as more traders are drawn to the fray. Bitcoin's price can double during this bull run and has a potential to reach $180,000 threshold. This takes time. We may witness this level closer to the end of 2025. The peak of this cycle could reach much greater levels as we progress into the next 2 years. Verbitsky also cautioned traders to properly manage risk by diversifying their positions, executing trades via limit orders, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We are hodlers. We do not trade Bitcoin. So for those of you who trade Bitcoin, walk softly. But for the hodlers, you want to continue to dollar cost average your way into your Bitcoin position, right? Low time preference, slow and steady. Keep stacking those sats. Keep stacking those sats. Tall Sean Network. Appreciate the information big time. Much love to the entire family. We know Simon is balling ahead with all his crypto. I think that a lot of his crypto is here on Earth and he has to leave it for his wife take care of his kids. So let's see what happens. He did say in his dimension, it's already over 200,000. So let's see. But I think it's also a way for him to tell me, like, this isn't the time to crash out. This is the time to keep stacking, keep stacking, keep stacking. All right. In honor of my hubby Cakes, who is featured behind me in that beautiful royal velvet sack back there, his urn, we are going to get a bit of technical analysis. He used to give me the technical analysis, right? So it's important that I keep up with it. So we will keep up with it together as I tighten up and just kind of stay on top of what's going on. So give me 1 second while I get that going. And you guys let me know if you can hear it okay.
Strategies founder and managing partner and a CNBC contributor. Because it hasn't gone over Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or the weekend, it's stalled, I think. So that's how Bitcoin's so volatile that it has not exceeded 100, but it ran up significantly to above 99,000 at one point. How can you use technicals once it gets above anywhere it's ever been before?
Well, it's a good question. We don't have a way of gauging upside potential from here. All of the price objectives that we can derive from the breakouts that we've seen have been exceeded. The most recent one being about 98,000 based on a measured move projection. So we are in uncharted territory in terms of where there is resistance, which of course there is none. But we can, of course, just refer back to the previous trading and get sort of a sense of how Bitcoin tends to trade and use that as sort of a playbook going forward. And what we've noticed for Bitcoin is it does tend to stair step both to the downside and to the upside, meaning that sees these very sharp run-ups and then consolidates, and usually consolidates for months, not just weeks. So we do feel that after such a strong run-up, that consolidation is likely. The $100,000 mark is certainly a psychologically significant benchmark there. Really insignificant, though, otherwise, except for just a round number. And
then whenever I ask you what the downside support is with Bitcoin, it's always so much bigger than any other market we follow. So if it holds 40,000, and we're still in an uptrend or something?
I think with Bitcoin...
I'm kidding, but what do you think? Where do you see the first support?
The first support is around 74,000, just simply based on former resistance. I know, but you don't need to be willing to let it ride down to that level. But I think actually people should be. It's not to say it looks like it's going back there, but they need to be willing to give Bitcoin and the cryptocurrencies in general more room because of the volatility there, and also because I think of the long-term potential. I think investors should have small positions in their portfolio, something that they almost forget about, don't look at that often except when they want to, and just watch this sort of long-term advance unfold.
So I remember a little bit prior to my husband passing away, he told me, like, Aaron, keep your eye on the 86,000 mark, right? Because he thought that that's where we were going to kind of see it. It blew past it. But I'm keeping my eye on it now to kind of see. She did say the 78,000 mark. he specifically told me the 86,000 mark. He had gotten that from the stock to flow model from Plan B. So I am going to keep my eye on that, as well as you guys should. But for those of you who are not technically inclined, that's not your thing. You're like, I'm just trying to make some money with Bitcoin. It's low time preference, right? When things are this volatile, just like she said, you have to make space for it to, I'm going to say you have to make space for its movement. Okay. And this is why, Bitcoin is very attractive to hodlers, right? If you like, I'm cool. I am going to just continue to keep stacking and stacking and stacking and putting my money there, because I understand the gain that I'm going to get once it breaks past 100,000. Then we'll be good to go. So do not be discouraged that it went from 98,000 to 93,000. Don't be discouraged at all. It's on sale. Buy the dip. Hi, BK Crypto. Thank you so much for joining. Stan wants to know if the channel believes in Bitcoin layer 2s. So honestly, yes, right? It extends the capability of Bitcoin. Anything that Bitcoin can do to offer something better to humanity, we are all layer 2s, not necessarily. One of the things that my husband was big on is get a few things and focus on that. And that was our wheelhouse, was basically the monetary gain from Bitcoin, the ability of its use. Honestly, I think it's refreshing when you're able to utilize Bitcoin as a payment rail of some sort. We would like to see more businesses offer that. We were generally refreshed when we had a few, probably a couple, literally, NFL players get paid in Bitcoin, but we were hoping to see a bit more Bitcoin adoption, especially in the United States. Let's see what President-elect Trump does with miscellaneous payments and so on and so forth. But yeah, layer 2s are, anything that Bitcoin can do to offer more capability, more benefit to humanity, we're all for. Hi, BK Crypto. We're okay. We're well. We are doing well. I'm doing everything I can to make my husband proud, right? Hubby Cakes. I still am the executor of his visions. That was my job when he was in life. I now have to probably develop the skill of having my own visions, right? So it's a very new landscape I am going to be navigating. I am not quite sure what the pathway of that landscape looks like. I'm good at executing the visions of my visionary. I'm not so great at having my own vision. So you guys will get to journey with me a little bit as I navigate this new landscape, this new terrain. But in the meanwhile, the visions that he had, we're going to execute the hell out of them. And we're going to do everything we can to maintain his legacy and to make him proud. So I'm still, even though he's fulfilled the covenant technically is over. I will honor his memory by doing that. Maintain his legacy as though he's still here. I think that's important. There was something else I want to tell y'all. And it's eluding me. Oh, so we are wow. We're almost to the end of the year, right? So this is fourth quarter. This is the time for you guys to be tying up the loose ends that you had, trying to get stuff done that you weren't able to get done, so that you can have a fresh first quarter. If you are behind here in the fourth quarter, I am too. I got thrown off a little bit. Sorry. And as for quarter one, I really got to sit and contemplate on what the goals and the objectives of quarter one would be. One of them is absolutely going to be to finish the book that he and I was working on. Like, I can't even drag my feet on that any longer. It may not look like the original vision we had for the book, because unfortunately, he had his wheelhouse that he was helping me with, and then I had mine. So it is going to be comprehensive. It is going to be quite practical and helpful. But unfortunately, it is not going to be the work that we had first envisioned, right? It's we just gonna like Siri or like your mapping feature in your car, your GPS system. We just gonna reroute a little bit, but we are definitely gonna get it done. So I am making that a huge priority for quarter 1. That the work, it would be my 5th published work and the only published work I have with my husband. So it is absolutely critical that I complete that work. So I'm still going to bring that to you guys. I had to change the title and everything. I did that today, so I got something done. Yay, Erin got something done. She was productive today. But I had to change the title because now that President-elect Trump is confirmed for office, there are a lot of people who want to be exploring the idea of living life abroad, what that looks like, how it works, some of the benefits to it, some of the cautionary tales that need to be spoken. So I am going to work every day, since I do have a bit of extra time on my hands now, to get that done for you guys and to have that offered to you as soon as possible. If you guys know people, hi, Let Freedom Ring. All is well. Yes, all is well. If you guys know people who are exploring the idea of, even if they're like, I'm not going to live abroad, but I need to just get out of here for a while to just decompress or just see what the world has to offer, absolutely let them know that we are going to have a guide for them available. So that was about it. I know it was kind of a short show. You guys be patient with me. Again, I am navigating a territory I haven't been in since I was 18. I met him when I was 19, so I've been with him that long. Just trying to structure my day and focus on what needs to be focused on this week 2, since he's expanded his consciousness. So the shows won't be the 2-hour shows we used to have when we used to go back and forth and talking, but we'll get back to some of the expanded shows as I gain my, kind of get into my bag here on the show and the lane that I should be driving in without driving into his lane, but still offering you the expertise and offering you, as a subject matter expert, the information that is beneficial to you to continue in your financial empowerment of yourself. Now, for my wheelhouse, I am going to talk to you guys about something that's very important. Okay. If I've learned anything from Hubby Cakes in the last 8 days, and trust me, y'all, what I've learned in the last 8 days, people learn in multiple lifetimes. It takes multiple lifetimes to learn what I learned in the last 8 days. Remember why you came here, right? It was certainly a perspective change, which I'm absolutely grateful for. But you did not come here to do whatever it is you do every day on your 9 to 5. Maybe you did, right? If it's something that benefits humanity. But remember what your life path is. Remember what your service to humanity is. And sometimes it's hard to remember, right? As spirits, we got it all down. We write our contracts with each other and stuff. We incarnate onto the planet. We get born and we're like, oh shit, we forgot. So take the time to really sit, do your breath work, whatever you need to do, however you need to meditate, to remember why you came here. Okay. Yes, we do want to be financially empowered, but really start asking yourself, as I'm financially empowered, what was I supposed to come here to learn? Right? Earth is a school, and it is a very difficult school in all of the realms of school. It is extremely difficult. So you want to remember what you came here to learn. You want to change your frequency, change your vibration. This is the time for you to sit and say, the way I used to react, the way I used to respond no longer serve me. How can I maintain high frequencies? What did I come here to learn? What am I supposed to be doing to help benefit humanity? It's not all about us. Some people just want to get their bag and go about their life and live their little opulent, luxurious lifestyle. That's not what this experience was supposed to be about. When I talk to you guys about your discipline, get a planner, get a notebook. You guys can get, I'm journaling. Y'all know I always have a think pad, but when he passed away, I had to change it to a peace pad because I needed peace in my life. But I could at least look at it that I did not suffer a loss, right? My husband literally expanded his consciousness. That's gain. When anything expands, there's a gain there. And I have access to that expanded consciousness. What do I learn from his life on earth? What did I learn from our relationship? What did I learn from how he trained the boys? What did I learn from him expanding his consciousness? What did I learn about myself and how I'm handling the expansion of his consciousness? What goals and objectives do I need to continue to work towards in order to still benefit humanity? I cannot go into a turtle shell, right? I can't be like the little turtle pulled into a shell because my Siamese twin and I are temporarily separated. Hence the term temporarily. So you really want to kind of, if you've learned anything from this channel, you want to take that seriously as well. We talk about your life portfolio being a comprehensive thing, right? A small sliver of it is your financial aspect, but the life portfolio itself, there's a large part of it that is spiritual, metaphysical. So you want to start asking yourself, especially here towards the end of the year. This week is Thanksgiving. For those of you guys who participate in Thanksgiving, this is the time to sit and do what I call a life review. What am I grateful for? Right? Good and bad. As a matter of fact, I implore you to start with the bad things and say, this bad thing happened, or this thing that I perceived to be bad happened. What did I learn from it? What do I believe about me to make me feel the way I felt about this thing? And the belief that you may have about yourself that made you feel this way, that brought this certain emotion to the surface, may be a huge sign, an indicator that there's something you need to work on, right? Whether that's insecurity, whether it's like abandonment issues, wounded child stuff, all that inner work that we actually came here to do. If anything, I'm going to remind you to be on your life path. Be on your life path. If you are doing the inner work, I can guarantee you will magnetize the wealth. You will, right? When you're doing the inner work, you're changing your thoughts. And when you change the way you think, changing the way you think changes the way you feel. And when it changes the way you feel, it changes the way you behave. And when it changes the way you behave, that electromagnetic field that's all around you, you are a walking Wi-Fi signal, begins to magnetize the things you want. And the things that you typically don't align with, the things that don't align with you, or the things that you don't align with, will become invisible to you. Like magic, right? So I want to remind you guys, because we've always done the productivity part of the productivity segment of the show. Buy a calendar, buy an agenda, buy a notebook, buy something where you are taking it from here and you're bringing it into the physical realm. Your ideas, the things you would like to do, the changes you would like to make, the affirmations that you may need to reaffirm to yourself in order to make the thoughts and the ideas and the beliefs that you had that don't serve you, to make those obsolete. So I want to remind you, do not forget your life path. Don't forget why you incarnated to earth. What did you come here to learn? What are some of the things that you did learn? What are some of the things you say, I've learned this, but I know that I need to work on that, so that when the lesson comes up again, for some of us, the lesson comes up over and over and over and over and over again, and we fail the test over and over and over and over and over again. So you don't want to look at it as a failure. You want to look at it like, what am I missing? And what is it that's so critical that I'm missing that the lesson keeps coming up, and I haven't graduated from this particular lesson. I haven't graduated from this particular scenario. Or if you see the scenario keeps happening over and over again, what do I believe about myself to be true that the scenario keeps reaffirming it? You see what I mean? This is about doing the inner work. Bitcoin, like I said, it is bigger than just getting a bag, honey. I'm going to tell you that now. It is a way to financially empower yourself so that you have the freedom to do the inner work. And that's how we use our resources. Simon and I used to just sit. We were working on quantum mechanics. We were working on quantum physics, quantum level time jumping, raising our frequencies. And he done jumped the whole timeline, right? So we are trying to do everything we can to expand our consciousness without that type of permanent expansion, right? For some of us. But basically, regardless, remembering the macro, right? The cosmic level view of what we are doing here to begin with. And I can guarantee you, even for those of you who don't read your Bible, the Bible says, seek ye first the kingdom, and then everything else will be added unto you. And if you're seeking first the kingdom, where's the kingdom? It says the kingdom is within you. So if you're doing that inner work within you, all of these things are going to be added unto you. Okay? So, Mama Simon, right? I know I have children and you are not my children, but the mother in me wants to remind the inner child in you, right? That you are loved, you are adored, you are thoroughly treasured, and you have a beautiful, beautiful mission here. You just have to remember what that is. And every step you take, if you are seeking it, should lead you in that direction. And I got to tell y'all that because I'm telling myself that too, that while he and I worked kind of like, pea in a pod, now I have to kind of remember the things that I've learned and implement them, right? I got to put my money where my mouth is at this point in my life. But regardless, we are here to help one another. You guys have been showing us incredible love. The family really appreciates it. Keep stacking, keep stacking, keep stacking those sats, stack those ounces, stack that knowledge. Stack it, stack it, stack it. Keep reframing things in positive views. Doesn't matter how bad it is. I just lost the absolute love of my life. And the first thing I ask is, what can I learn from this? Right? I'm going to celebrate you in gratitude, not necessarily grief. It's very low vibration. I know that it's normal to do that. We're going to do stuff different. Right? And I think he would appreciate that. So I am towards the end of, thank you, John Robinson, for your kind words. Thank you, Deirdre, for your kind words. Saturday, November 30th at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I am going to live stream his virtual services for those of you who would like to say something, who would like to talk, so on and so forth. I will have a link at least by Thursday that I will absolutely be sending out. If you guys can email me, you should see it right here on the screen, assets.arbitrage@gmail.com. Email me because that's the only way I'm going to get the link to you. Unfortunately, I can't use the chat for links and so on and so forth. Please subscribe to our Simon Family Investment Ventures YouTube channel. I'm sorry. Please subscribe and like. That way you have access to us. You leave comments and stuff like that. I will get to them. They are on his phone, but I'm going to keep his phone up so that I can do those things and feel a little bit closer to him as well. If you want to talk during the services, I'm going to have an open mic, but feel free to email me if you want to talk to me first or anything like that. I do answer all emails. I've been a little bit behind, so thank you for your patience. If you guys have been emailing me, I will get to them. I love all of you, and I implore you guys, keep stacking, keep stacking, keep stacking, but also remember your life path. Sit, in the quiet, put your phone down, stop scrolling, sit with yourself and ask yourself the questions that need to be asked. Write them down in your ThinkPad, or if y'all want a piece pad. That way you can also journal your journey and kind of sort out the things that you need to do in order to do the inner work that's required here in our cosmic school of Earth. Hey, Anzie B, what's up? Yep, we're doing well. I thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate you. Anzie B and BK Crypto is Anzie B and BK Crypto on here. His name is actually Dylan. They are part of a fantastic group called BK Crypto, Brooklyn Crypto, right? And I call them the squad. And what the squad does is they actually on foot, now Angie B is in DC, but that's not important. On foot, they help people with cryptocurrency, financial literacy, financial education, spiritual education. They have all of these great resources where they physically go out and help the community crypto-wise. They also have a website where you can purchase crypto swag. I used to have it in the drop down. I have to check the drop down. I haven't done it in a while. So if it's not there, I promise it will be advertised on the next show. But I always like to shout them out because they are doing a very hard physical work. They are talking to the people who say to them, so what is Bitcoin exactly? So my heart goes out to them. So I always want to shout them out because they have the patience to sit there and work with each person who asked them these questions here in 2024. Tino is also going to say goodbye. Go
I
ahead.
need to tell you something.
Okay.
Once in a row, Tiana Bell, because they're Rapunzel's sister.
Okay, they didn't catch none of that, but you and I will talk about that in a minute offline, okay, Bubbles?
Mom,
Yes?
could you please save Cinderella, Tiana
I
Bell?
will. I'm going to, I promise.
Can you save them?
He
So
been
they- so
Disney
they do-
Disney Plus binging because
Disney
mommy's
Princess.
been, yeah. So he's hip to the princesses now. He's like,
Frozen.
oh, there's girls.
Frozen.
So, okay, hold on a second. Because mommy has been a little bit distracted here in these last few days. So
Tell
she's
you
got to
something.
get back on her mommy.
There's Frozen at Disney Plus, Mom.
I will figure out the journey. I've been asking the questions. I'm doing the work. I'm doing the inner work. It's a little bit tougher now because my school buddy, right? My cosmic school buddy is, I'm going to say he graduated to a more advanced class. Is not here to help me, but we're going to get it, right? We're going to get it for sure.
There's Frozen movie.
Wait a minute, baby. But I just want to thank you guys for tuning in. Remember, keep stacking, keep stacking, keep stacking. Do not be discouraged by the pullbacks, right? I shared that article with you that Bitcoin may reach 180,000 by 2025 because we know Bitcoin has the potential to do it way before the end of 2025. And just understanding that your patience and your discipline are going to provide you gain. So little by little, here in Mexico, they say poco a poco, right? And you can build that habit, and in building that habit, you will absolutely be rewarded. So I love you all. I want you all to be safe. I want you all to be contemplative. I want you to be introspective. But most importantly, I want you to be loving and have a wonderful, wonderful week. Reggie and I are probably going to try to go live on Wednesday to wish y'all a wonderful, wonderful Thanksgiving and to remind you guys about how important gratitude is in your life, right? Every single day you should be grateful for something, but for real, every day you should be grateful for so many things. So we love you guys, and we will see you Wednesday at 7.